Welcome back to my series where I talk about World War II historical fiction books that I highly recommend for you. I have two to share by Kate Quinn. The first is The Huntress, a really interesting story about female Soviet pilots, and it's a dual timeline, also following a Nazi hunter after the war. Next is The Rose Code, about best friends and code breakers at Bletchley Park during the war. I have two by Natasha Lester to share. The first is The Three Lives of Alex St. Pierre, about a resistance fighter in France. And we have The Paris Secret, about art historians and art spies and resistance fighters in France as well. I also have two by Pam Jenoff to recommend. The first is The Lost Girls of Paris, about tracking down missing spies after the war ends. And The Woman with the Blue Star. This is about families hiding in the sewers of Krakow to escape. We have two by Genevieve Graham. The first I've mentioned before, The Secret Keeper, about a secret code-breaking and spy training facility called Camp X just outside of Toronto that no one knew about. We also have Letters Across the Sea. This is a really interesting depiction of what was happening in Toronto during the war and simultaneously what it was like for Canadian fighters who were captured by the Japanese army and held as prisoners of war. And this list would not be complete without a few from Kristen Harmel. It was hard to choose which ones, but I narrowed it down to three. The first is The Paris Daughter, about the challenges of raising kids and having a family in occupied Paris. The second is The Book of Lost Names, about resistance networks helping to get kids out of France. And lastly, we have Room on Rue Amélie, about another resistance network helping to get downed Allied pilots and fighters out of France. I hope you enjoy the list. Let me know if you decide to check any out or if you have other suggestions to add.